Hello, everybody. Again,
Hello.
we've been having crazy setup issues, but we finally got it working. Everything's good. Hopefully, you can hear us. My name is Jay. If you're just stumbling on the channel, how you doing? I'm the Dungeon Master, and we're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't prepare an intro today, as you can tell, but that's all right. So we play every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central. We've been playing for about a year now. There's probably like 40 episodes or so. You can find most of them on YouTube or here on Twitch. We have a podcast that you can find in podcast places. There's lots of places to find the content if you want to get caught up. But this is episode 4 of chapter 2. So if you're looking to get started and just want to dive in, a great place to start is right at the beginning of chapter 2. We've got some players are here to play the game too.
Yeah, Jay, speaking of that, I have a quick question for the group, but mostly for Kins.
Oh.
Kins, what does a lazy druid do?
Oh, make trash berries, I guess. Lazy.
Yeah, what is a lazy
do
druid
I just
do?
I don't know, lay around in a hammock or, something to do with nature? I don't know. What does a lazy druid do?
The bare minimum.
Oh my
Oh.
God. I could have polar beared minimum that. Right there.
Polar bear minimum.
Oh, nice.
I found my Snuggie. We're ready.
You're ready for it.
Boy, I so wish you'd had that last week because
I
now
know.
I'm just replaying the entire fight in my mind, picturing that instead of what I had in mind.
Yeah.
And, it's way better.
Not an actual polar bear.
Well, this has like
a person
little
with a
hands
polar
too.
bear.
It's being
Done my-
flung around by the demon
Yep.
frog tentacle or whatever that was.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's
India?
basically
That's
there. And
what
there you go.
happened.
That's
Just
last
a
episode.
summary.
That is
Yeah,
basically-
speaking
Some
of-
people got swallowed.
So,
Somehow-
yeah.
Hentai and polar bears.
Mm-hmm.
That was the that was the episode.
More or less. Salty, tasty meaties.
Somehow Belrisha and Jeshi offered us up to be a meal
Yeah.
to the frog people, but
And
you
then
know.
ended up being the meal ourselves.
Well, that's true.
Well, hold on.
your plan-
So,
that was your plan
okay,
the
so
whole
you
time,
guys
I
were
guess.
asked to go south. You're in the town of Portsmouth, and you were something was stealing like cattle and fish and stuff, like bad news. So you guys were asked to go down and try to find it. You tracked something down into the marshes, into the salt marshes, where where it was a frog. It was two small frogs, two bullywugs, who seemed to be trying to find meat for Mother. And you were trying to figure out what Mother was, and Mother ended up being, here, go ahead.
You called it a frog hemoth. Is that a real thing?
It's now.
Yeah.
The frog Zuba?
Where's my money?
People got
an
eaten.
actual
There were polar bears. It was, check out the last episode for a good fight. But anyway, you guys won the fight somehow. You defeated this thing, chopped off one of its eye stalks, and but on the way back,
That's right. We
Yeah, I
saw
think-
two castaways. What do you call
Sailor
them?
people.
Capsized.
Yeah, that had just floated in on like a
none of those were correct.
ship. No,
We're
stowaways,
wearing
not
sailor
stowaways. What
gear.
were they?
They
They
were
were
on
sailors that.
a little boat.
Yeah. What do you call it when a sailor gets kicked off its ship on the little boat? I don't know.
That's
It's a
it.
joke. Or,
So there's two sailors on the beach.
We got these two guys that were shipwrecked, I thought, right? Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
And
Were they
then,
pirates
by a
or
giant
Well, no,
sailors?
ship.
their ship. Well, they
Unclear.
might not have been pirates, but their ship got destroyed by.
sails.
Yeah,
Black
black
sails.
sails.
And they were like,
yes.
"Oh, don't worry, we'll shuttle you back to the town. You can tell us all about it." We get back to the town, and lo and behold, there's a big
The
old ship
ship.
with black sails.
Yep.
They were like, "What are you doing?" We're like, "Sorry, we didn't know it was here. We
It's not our
promised."
fault.
Coincidence.
And nothing else happened. We just walked
Yeah.
into town, saw the black sails, and that was it.
Vin was in need of food and collapsed over. Nothing happened to his heart.
No.
Of whatever that's made out of.
Or no.
Vin had a moment where he kind of keeled over and was just taken aback by these intense memories that you're pretty sure aren't actually your memories, but that's
Oh,
okay.
So stressful.
You're able to feel a little
It's
better now.
stressful.
Tej, can you turn your mic up just a hair? Is it just me, or is he low for everybody?
My low for
No? Is it just me?
We can have more of your voice.
Yeah.
you
sure,
could if I If I turn the gain up, it's gonna get real wild. But
Don't worry about it. It's probably just our ongoing audio problems. That's all right. No, I can hear you.
okay.
The seagulls were drowning you out a little bit.
Seagulls.
Well, we talk in the same frequency, so that makes sense.
That's good. It makes covert whispering much easier in Portsmouth.
Okay. So yeah, you came across a wrecked lifeboat that had two guys in it who had been in this ship that had been, it was a merchant vessel that had been coming up from Port Saurus in the south, coming up towards Portsmouth. It had been attacked by a ship, and the guys managed to survive, ultra sunburned and dehydrated, been a couple days just adrift in the sea until they eventually fell unconscious, but as luck would have it, washed ashore south of Portsmouth, not too far from you guys. You found them, brought them back, and that is where we're going to pick up today. So you guys have just, it seemed to me like you were on your way to the Sleeping Savior, which is your tavern, though it wasn't clear where you were actually headed, but you've essentially got these two guys in tow. They're both human. One of them's probably in his early 50s, maybe, mostly gray, pretty rough shape. Obviously been a sailor most of his life. You know, you can just tell by his body type and kind of the burned skin. The other guy's, he's quite a bit younger, probably like late teens, maybe early 20s. Very, pretty young, but still, clearly been out in the water a while. Yeah, so you guys have just walked into town. You're along the Harbor Way, which is the road that kind of goes along Rock Harbor, where all the boats are, and it was hard to miss the galleon that is basically anchored. It's not up in a dock; it's too big to be docked in Rock Harbor, but it's anchored out in Rock Harbor, and you can see a couple of smaller boats that have come
From
ashore
this distance, Jay, is there anything like outside of the sails, like insignia that we could see?
Make a perception check.
Is that any of us or
That
just
I would
just?
like to- Go ahead.
I think we were asking the same thing. Is that all of us make a perception check or just Jesse?
It's really up to you if you're looking or not.
Well, while he does that, I'd just like to know if I notice any, suspicious-looking men with dreadlocks and a bandana on their head, maybe swaggering about with a necklace of toes or anything
Okay.
like that.
These are very specific questions.
Yeah,
18, Jay.
18. Okay. What you see, the ship is, Rock Harbor isn't huge, but the ship is big enough that it has to be in deeper water, slightly out. And as you're looking at it, you can see that the hull of the ship appears to be like a real dark, like either a dark wood or it's painted dark. Most of the wood is like a charcoal gray. The sails themselves are furled, but they are clearly like a dark gray or possibly even a black. The bowsprit coming off is pretty nondescript. There's not like a big statue or figurehead or anything like that. That's like, there is one, but it's kind of nondescript. It doesn't appear to be a noticeable insignia or anything like that. It's not flying any colors. There's no flag. You get a pretty good look at it, Jesse, but there's nothing that you really notice.
And it's, just to be 100% sure, this was not here when we left.
Correct.
So it's not the one that Belrissa was looking at.
No, that ship is still in port.
Still there. Oh.
And it's much smaller in comparison to
Oh,
the
wow.
galleon
Okay.
that's anchored out in the middle of the harbor. You also notice that pretty much everybody's kind of like looking at it. A lot of the people who work the docks are just, you can see they're kind of catching glances of it just as they work, just looking. There is sort of a basically adjacent to where it's moored. There's a couple of small boats that have come up that look like they've been going back and forth, and there's some people down at the docks. As you are walking, towards the Savior, and the door opens, and Emmy comes out, and she kind of rushes towards you and says, "Oh my, what? Do they? Oh, come here!" And she kind of reaches forward and tries to like grab the young guy and kind of throw him over her shoulder. look at you. And she's just like seems really worried, and she's trying to figure out what's going on. And I was so worried when y'all didn't come back for a while. And who are these? She just seems really confused.
Emmy, is Remus here, or perhaps Kith?
Remus is inside. Yeah, he stopped by for some lunch. Yeah. And
If you could take care of these two. We rescued them off the shore. They could use some food, drink. It's on the house, probably.
My goodness, of course it is, dears. Come on. And
We can't
she's
just give things away.
she's gone full mother mode. Like she's just trying to help these
That's
guys
good.
out.
We can
and-
pass them off to her, and then I'd like to go talk to Remus.
Yeah, cool. As you,
If he has any idea.
it sounds like he heard the commotion and the door swings open, and the concerned face of Remus and the in the threshold, and he looks out and he rushes over and he grabs the larger guy and he's trying to help him, and he goes, "Come on, inside!" And everybody kind of ushers inside, and Emmy rushes. She's got like she's getting like a bowl of water with some probably like some aloe or something to deal with the burned skin, and giving them water and just kind of slowly helping these guys out. Remus, what's going on? What happened?
I was swallowed.
We took care of that thing that was stealing all the animals.
Remus is a military man. He understands what it's like to fight giant frogs that
And
can swallow.
I'll toss out
dwarfs.
the eye stalk, just like this was part of it.
Also, we have the goat, right?
Yeah,
Kira's got the goat slung over her
Kira
shoulder.
does.
Meh.
Did you bring the goat in the bar?
Meh.
Wait, you didn't tell me to leave it outside.
Bar master!
I mean,
It's
okay.
right here. Remind me, where does this thing go? Who's the owner of this goat?
I pet the
exactly?
goat.
And Remus like signals over at some random guy and get this back to Winnie. Tell her we'll be by later.
There you go.
Meh.
Enjoy.
Meh. And you see this guy, it's like kicking him and stuff, and he kind of rushes out. Sorry about the floor, Emmy. What is this? And he's like looking at this gross eye stalk. It's like all oozing now. It's like just.
That is one of 3 eyes that this large creature was using to spot us right before it used, various tentacles to attempt to ingest us. So, a bit of empathy wouldn't kill you, would it?
Yeah, but just attempt to ingest us. None of us spent our day in.
He
in
he
that
he,
way.
he picks up like a rag off the table and he wraps it and he puts it down on the table, and he just kind of like runs his fingers through his hair and he goes.
Gross.
The other hand.
Oh,
He goes, and he just kind of sits down and just heavy sigh, like, "Tell me everything," and we'll assume you guys tell him the story.
can we
of-
do the Final Fantasy 14
Everything.
where we go?
Yeah, that's exactly. And the camera slowly pans away and fades to black, and it cuts to him just like,
Yeah.
and then somebody goes, like,
Yep.
for nothing. No, he looks up and he says, "Thank you for taking care of this. I could never have guessed it was something so dangerous, and I don't know what we would have done were you not here. I'm sorry to continually ask you to put yourselves in so much danger, but I do appreciate that you seem willing to get the jobs done, and the town thanks you for it. I'll double the guard around the animals, and if we see anything remotely similar, we'll make sure. Perhaps if the creatures can't get the food they need, then they won't be so tempted to bring these beasts around. But who knows? Anyway, these 2 men here.
Crazy times.
Yeah, and as crazy as that was, though, showing up here with that ship in the harbor
Yeah, what's all that about?
is a little crazier, because these 2 guys have a story that they were telling us on the way back.
Big
That a
ship.
ship that sounds a lot like that one Actually, I'm going to look around the room and make sure I recognize everybody who's in the room before I start talking about the ship.
Okay, perception. Roll it.
Let's see,
Ghosts
what's up
anywhere.
here? 15.
15. It is that time of day. Just starting to see a few people kind of rolling in as the fishing boats have come in. You do see a handful of people that you've never seen before. Big, burly sailor types.
Okay.
And these
I'm
are
on it.
these are not fishermen. These are large, dangerous looking folks. Though
Pirates.
Patrons.
you do also notice that they're conversing with some of the locals. Everybody's smiling. There's no hostility. There's nothing weird going on. But these are not your average local sailors for sure.
Guys, I'll be back. I'm gonna go upsell them some whiskey, and I head over there.
Good idea, Joshi.
Okay.
Remus, in response to your question, Vin, he says, "Are you familiar with that ship?" "I wouldn't think so. You're not from around these parts, are you?"
Well, no, but these two guys had a comment about it.
And he kind of
that,
looks.
They think a ship like that might have been the one that was a little aggressive to their merchant vessel. Has there been any hint of that? I'm gonna just lower my voice. Like, I don't want to talk out loud, but they were a little shocked to see that ship in our harbor.
Yeah, I'm going to say that at that point, Remus would probably ask, for more details about what these guys had said. If you hadn't told him already, we can probably assume that you guys told him that stuff, right? Yeah, so at this point, are the men still there with you?
Well, so I'm assuming they're like at the bar getting
Emmy
tended
is
to.
taking
by
Yeah,
Emmy.
Emmy was
Yeah.
cleaning them up
Yeah.
somewhere.
I think, let's say that Emmy probably took them up to a room to rest and get cleaned up and is probably just administering medicine and getting them some food and drink and everything. So they're probably not here, but Remus would have heard, the story in the first place. And his brow kind of furrows and he actually gets up and he moves to the other side of the table with his back to the other patrons. You guys are kind of at a table that's somewhat near the door with the depth of the tavern kind of behind you. So he puts his back to these other guys. And he sits up and he says, "The Shadow Captain is not going to take kindly to these accusations without proof. I understand these men think they saw what they saw, and clearly something happened to them, but pray speak to them in detail and try to understand if this is really the ship you seek before you start saying these things. We don't want any trouble."
Well then, what is this ship, since we are not from here, and you seem to know?
I think I might be able to educate on that a bit.
At this point, Remus, he says, "That would be great. I need to go check on Winnie. I'll be back. Please don't do anything stupid."
Who was?
I didn't hear that.
Shadow Captain, the notorious pirate leader. I learned a bit about it when I was south for my travels, Mortimer. And we didn't quite make it down where he typically resides, but I know that he goes by a different name that well known amongst the pirates. Grey Gaze. And he owns a ship fitting the description of the one parked outside. Fastest ship, most ruthless crew you've ever seen. Each one of those men worth 100 lesser. Loyal to the last. Rumor has it he's not been seen for years. People have been wondering where the great Grey Gaze has gone. The Shadow Captain may not be on the best of terms with his compatriots. For the additional rumors say that he may have hired a new crew. Not to sail the seas, but to keep him safe. And if it's the crew that I've been told it is, the Alley Cats, we're in for quite an eventful near future.
Wait, so
I
you think
know.
his old crew
My gosh.
like
So-
mutinied or something?
There's no one to know for
Quick,
sure.
quick correction.
Sorry.
You're damn close. That was awesome. But it's an important detail.
Sure.
So Kira, you've heard countless rumors of the legendary pirate known as Captain Greygaze, also known as the Shadow Captain, captain of the ship known as the Grey Tide. When you traveled down south, you never made it as far as the pirate territory, but even all along the coast, it was impossible to avoid rumors of the fastest, most notorious ship in the fleet. Now, the Shadow Captain hasn't been seen in several years, and whilst he's been gone, the Silver Admiral, the leader of the pirates down south, is the one who had hired this new crew known as the Alley Cats. And the Alley Cats are the ones that have a history with you, Kira.
What did they do then? Thank you, tiny voice, for
So you met the alley cats? I'm whispering.
not directly. Before I joined up with you lot, I was part of a band of, well, some might have called us mercenaries, but I prefer the term do-gooder or vigilante or something a bit less criminal. We tended to go around and help people with their crime-related gang problems. And one such gang was indeed the Alley Cats. And their leader was a known associate of someone who I thought to be dead for a long time. And part of what I learned during my time with what's his name?
Mortimer.
Thank you. It is actually
Mortimer.
tiny voice again. So nice.
One of those seagulls.
Yeah.
That was it. Gosh, smart bird. What has it that even though I thought he'd be dead, he may still be out there, and if he's involved, then the Alley Cats are here, then there's no doubt that the organization is still operating. And this is not a kindly crew of lads. This is a very deadly group that knows no boundaries, knows no mercy, knows no shred of kindness.
Kira, make an intelligence check, please.
16.
16. Okay. So some details you recall from your time investigating the sort of pirate situation down south. There's a place. You've never been there, but it's known as the Bay of Bones, which is kind of the main where the fleet is. And the Bay of Bones, you've heard fleeting details, but essentially the main kind of idea is that it's called the Bay of Bones because the majority of the landmass is made up of the enormous skeleton of an ancient titan that was felled at some point. And the actual land is the skull and bones of this enormous creature. And that's where this pirate fleet makes birth. And the leader of the pirates is known as the Silver Admiral. And so this Captain Greygaze, or the Shadow Captain, he is second to the Admiral, the most famous pirate, if you will. You know, he's like just anybody who knows anything about this, you know, this world of the sea would have heard of this guy. He's kind of a legend. But yeah, he disappeared. No one's seen him for several years. And during the time he's been away, things have started to got a little funky down south. And that's when all this activity has happened, and you've started to hear these rumors about the alley cat involved, which is just kind of strange. You know, it's not like these are not, it doesn't, it's like 1 and 1 don't make 2 when you're trying to think of why that would be a thing, and that's why it stuck out to you as a memory.
Okay.
So Remus walks back in at this point, kind of sits down with you guys. Anyway, carry on.
Jay, meanwhile, I am talking to some of these people, and I let them know that how many are there? How many of them are there? Like, of strangers?
Probably like 8.
Okay. I'll let them know that they can get a buy one, get one if they can answer this riddle, which is what hand do pirates row with?
One of them kind of looks at you, and he's got a knife in his hand. He's just kind of spinning it in his fingers. You're telling me if I can guess that riddle, you'll give me another drink for free on the house.
That's right. On the house. I own this place.
Oh no.
Let me hear it one more time, son.
What hand do pirates row with?
Any idea,
Left
lads?
or right?
Can't say I know the answer.
Either or.
Like all of them just start cracking up, and they're just like everybody's laughing, and kind of he sticks his knife in the table. He goes, "Tell me another."
I really only know one more at this moment. I told it earlier today.
Oh,
It's not ship related, but maybe you'll get it.
Tell you what, you tell me another in the next 10 seconds, and I'll buy a drink for the entire room.
You're on. What do you call a lazy druid?
Jeez,
I feel like I've heard this one before.
Oh my god.
Deal's off.
So at this point, I'm gonna just notice that they're, to me at least, knowing what I know about the potential group that's here, I'm gonna decide that 8 of them paying very specific attention to Jessie is more attention than I am comfortable with. I'm gonna kind of bend over like I'm coughing or tying my shoe. And when I come back up, I've got a piece of gear here called a disguise kit. That within a matter of moments I can craft myself into. I don't even look like me anymore. And I'm gonna look like quite the swashbuckler when I come back up from tying my shoe. And I'll just kind of put my hands on the table and, well, I suppose I'll be going over to see if Jessie needs a hand at the bar. And stand up and I don't know. And I'm gonna kind of strut over there with the swag of a right. Give Jessie a big old pat on the back. What are you doing over here, my friend? Giving all these people too many drinks, I think. Too many jokes. We've all heard them before, lad.
Make a performance check.
$15.
15. Yeah, the other guys seem to have just kind of like laughed it off and have gone back to just drinking and kind of like, oh yeah, there's another person. Like, it works. You're blending in.
Great.
I work here. I own this establishment. Why are you behind the bar?
Don't worry about that, laddie. I know all about the bar you own, and all I know about how much you love the drink and handing it out for free.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In fact, there's a bit of a spill over here at this table, I think, that as the owner of the bar, you should probably know about. And I'll just kind of swoop it back over to our table with the group. And when he sits down,
I'll wave over.
when I
Hey,
come
James.
around him, he sits down, I'll walk behind him. When I sit down next to him, I'm just Kira again, just sitting next to him.
Yeah. Nice.
Sorry, you left a bit early, and I realized that you may not be in the best of company up there by yourself.
It's no problem. I was actually really inspired because those guys were kind of tough, and I just came up with a joke like on the spot. It was one of my favorite moments that I've ever had as a human dwarf.
So, Remus, how long has this ship been in the harbor?
Came into port this morning, not long after you left. A thick fog rolled in, just a blanket of just white, thick mist covered the whole town in minutes. The ship came in, as it's apt to, in such conditions. And as soon as it was here, it was gone. Fog lifted, and there was the grey tide. We've not seen the ship here in probably maybe 2, maybe even 3 years. But Grey Gaze is a friend to Portsmouth. He's always been good to us, and amongst the pirates, he's, well, you could say he's something of a peacekeeper. Goes on and on about his code and whatnot.
Is he one of these guys?
And you're talking about the other guys in the room?
Yeah, at the bar.
He says, aye, that's his crew. Well, a small portion of it.
But
I
that's
believe
not
there's
him.
about 50 men or
not
so
here.
on the ship. No, he's not come ashore yet.
Oh.
Does the Shadow Captain Grey Gaze, does he have any like a reputation for donning a particular or particularly ornate hat or jacket, or he's got a hook hand, or is there any kind of physical distinctive features about him that like would be part of his notorious rep?
It's been a few years, but the only thing I really remember, tall man, wears an eye patch over his left eye. Long silver hair, dark leathers. He's not got any, no peg leg or hook hand or anything like that. But he's an imposing figure, to say the least.
Are you
When he
certain
visits,
he's
does
still?
he typically come ashore?
Yeah, exactly.
I expect he will. He has in the past, but they've only been here a couple of hours. What I meant before was simply to... I understand this is an acute situation with these men you've discovered down the shore. But to hear a tale that Grey Gaze would attack and sink a merchant vessel in open waters is... It's not really his M.O., and I'd prefer if you don't go accusing him of such until you've got more solid proof. There's more than one ship in the water with a dark hull.
Okay, but he is a pirate, so, right?
I understand it's a natural assumption to jump to. Just be careful who you accuse.
We really only have the one experience with pirates, and it's definitely on the negative side.
Not the
so-
best.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know much about pirates, but what do they typically do when they're pirating?
Sink merchant vessels in open waters.
Oh,
There are plenty of pirates who will sink a merchant vessel and take whatever they can. Those are the kind you want to stay far away from. The southern waters are difficult, and the opening up of the new waterways through here, as we discussed, have made it so that we're going to see a lot more of that up here, whether we like it or not. But they're not all that way. Some of these privateers, they'll look for enemy ships. They'll look for some of the pirates who are attacking the weak. Some of them just want a tithe. They don't want to sink an entire ship. They might fetch a tithe to go through a particular area, or
Oh. Does the map that we got? Remember
I
we
know
got
what you're
the
laughing
map?
at. That's sorry, Jesse. Go ahead.
No, I missed the joke and now I'm very sad. Anyway, the map that we got, right? We had this pre-campaign
Oh man.
adventure.
You still have
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
We have the map. Have we studied the map?
No, you've never
No,
even looked at it.
We've spent no time with the map. We could barely read it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think
yeah,
we
we
can
can't read it.
understand the
It was built
symbols on there.
something off of a thieves' cant, though.
Yeah, you did look at it when you first got it, and you were not able to read it, and you determined that you were going to need to find somebody who might.
It's been awake for
be able
40
to-
days since you read it.
Not one of the readings he had.
No, but yeah, just to, like he basically says, like, there are some really bad pirates out there, and there are others who are more interested in, just collecting like I can't, my words are failing me right now, but they're not going to just go
They
around
expect a
sinking
tribute.
every ship. Yeah, like a
Okay.
tribute is paid, or potentially even in other areas of the world, where there's these different nations, they're going to be more active over there, etc. But they do have a code, and that code is something that this Grey Gaze is kind of known for. Like he's kind of an old school guy, right? He's part of the old guard, and he's known for kind of maintaining the peace and keeping that respect, and that is something that has for what to have happened so close to Portsmouth is basically Remus is trying to say that that's not something that he would know Grey Gaze to do.
Okay.
So maybe a little bit less pirate and maybe a little bit more, Confederacy or.
So, Kira, this whole crew change, what was the story about why his crew might have changed?
Well,
That he
this
feels like he has to protect himself?
Grey Gaze has not been seen in some time, but it's the Silver Admiral. It's the Silver Admiral who's the pirate leader, one step above the Grey Gaze, supposedly residing down Bay of Bones. Who's hired these alley cats not as shipmates or crewmen, but as seem personally bodyguards, if rumors are to be believed.
So these aren't the alley cats, the folks that we're looking at, but they
Oh,
are the
right.
people who are now protecting the Silver Admiral down south.
Can't imagine the cats would be here without the Silver Admiral.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the gist of the rumors is that the admiral, who in and of himself has been known as he's kind of he's got a very colorful legend and reputation. He was a kind of a just a real like loud kind of swashbuckling kind of like just really good cunning pirate who has led and grown this pirate fleet over the years, and he's known. The rumors of late, Kira, that you've been hearing are that he's become more of a recluse. He has not been seen as much, and his hold over the fleet is deteriorating as things have gotten strange. And related to that, you caught this rumor of the alley cats, which to you personally, stuck out as something important because it ties into what you've been trying to do.
Right.
So then to see Grey Gaze out of nowhere kind of brought those memories back, because he's in and of himself, as famous as the Silver Admiral, yet hasn't been seen in ages. So just kind of this weird confluence of events, that happen to be right here in your doorstep.
Guys, I wonder if there's a way for us to find out if some sort of pirate turmoil going on. Is Grey Gaze starting an uprising? Is the Silver Admiral on the run from his own? There's got to be a way for us to glean more information, having this large ship with such an immaculate reputation here in port, right here where we live.
So more jokes from Jeshi.
I don't know if I'd send him over there alone.
Well, I mean, we are the only tavern in town, so most likely he will come here at some point. before they leave, I would think. We probably need a night's sleep before we do anything of any seriousness. Remus, I mean, good odds they stay overnight, or do you think they'll be pushing off here today?
He says, kind of takes a sip of his drink. He says, when I spoke to one of the crewmen down the docks, apparently they'll be here for a few days. Some minor repairs they're looking at doing to the ship. Not sure where they're headed next, but yeah, I expect they'll be here a few days. When the captain comes ashore, I'll make sure that you get an introduction.
You know,
Yeah.
it's been my experience. We can probably get a lot out of these people if we get them drunk.
You mean give away more free booze?
Again, 2
I'm not gonna
nights
give it
in
away.
a row.
I'm not going to give it away. Not only did I not give it away, I encouraged them to buy another round, and they did. I
The upsell.
Drunk
bamboozled them.
pirates in our
Yes,
in
but
our room. I don't know if that's the vibe we're going for.
we're open to any vibe, Vin. We're trying to expand our business. And by the way, Belrissa, I was thinking about like hearing this just fantastic naming. You got the Gray Gaze or whatever, and the Silver Admiral, the Bay of Bones. I think we might need to rebrand. Okay.
Or
From the
Sleeping
Sleeping
Savior?
Savior?
Or
This
the
is-
talent show aspect of it.
Listen to
or...
these names. Did you kids? You heard the names? Did you hear those names? It was like, Bing Bang. Boom. They live in the Bay of Bones. Where do we live? Portsmouth, in the mouth of a port.
It is accurate.
Well, so is Bay of Bones. Maybe we should relocate.
We could open up a franchise in Bay of Bones.
We've already got talks in the desert. I mean, the
Oasis.
logistical issues. We still don't even know how to get the iron from the mine to here.
My
Taking our
understanding
percentage,
of business expansion is that you should just go wild. So you have a small opportunity, boom, open another branch. Boom, branch here, branch there. Pretty soon, you got a whole tree.
Oh my god.
This is the conversation
my God.
let's had another time.
Kira, I listened to you. These guys, look, they're just guys. They
I
just
think
came off a
Kira
ship.
has more understanding of who these people are than you do, though, right?
Did you
Yeah,
not
but they're
happen to
not
see the knife
undead,
you
they're
slammed into
fine.
the top of your bar? You know that blade was about 9 inches long.
I know. I'm gonna upcharge him for it. I saw that. That was damage. But
Your
we
entire
have
forearm is 9
Kins can
inches
do
long. You should
mending.
really-
It's like you gotta see this. Have you seen this?
Oh, I can. I don't want to
You
go
just-
over there right now, though.
Okay, I take my hammer and I just jam it into the side of the table,
my
right in
gosh,
front of
Jesse.
you. Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! I don't slam not the head, just the edge. I'm just like, look at this.
I don't have mending
don't make me
prepared.
look
We're gonna say Remus has
buffing it
retired for the afternoon.
Well,
A while ago, as you guys
Tired
have
of
just
us.
franchises and
I mean, I think I'd like to sleep too. Aren't we still? We're coming like right off of combat, right? Like
It's
so.
like middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, we're-
and have some bacon and a drink.
Yeah,
It's
no, but I'm
not
just saying, like, I
nighttime.
don't-
the sun is in the sky.
I don't know if I
Or,
want to like.
or like we have activities to do.
Finn doesn't know how to
Got
sleep
their ass.
anymore. 'Cause he's just like,
He's just looking forward to sleep, just to do it.
Didn't what's her face just say that the Remus was there for lunch?
Yes.
Hey, we started early.
It was a
Our day
late
started at like 5
Yeah.
a.m. Right? So you know,
it's like 2 p.m. right now.
It's a litter.
Vin,
I'm not saying you have to go to bed. I'm just saying maybe we just say, hey, it's tomorrow morning, and we start again. Like, do we have a
But-
night's worth of activities? Are you wanting to do some kind of like? Some
Now
kind of
we can
recon
get
work?
Can armor. We
We-
can go talk to Winnie.
we
have
can
so
send
many
spies
things.
onto the ship.
I want to go on the ship for sure, 100%.
We can do that.
Okay, before we meet with
Is
them.
Ziggy
No, I'm
okay?
Officially.
totally down for going to sleep.
Oh yeah.
We have only been here for one night.
Right. You
When-
still haven't even gotten your armor yet. What? I mean, okay. Why don't we do that? Why don't we kind of split, do a recon group? We don't need Jessie reconning
We
on the
have
ship
to-
anyway.
Also, we gotta reconnect with Winnie, let her know about the goat, and collect our measurable prize.
There was a prize?
Reward.
Goat prize?
Oh, it was implied, I thought.
What were you thinking, Belrissa, about getting on the boat? Were you going to go, or were you going to send Invisible Ziggy?
Someone invisible, either Invisible Ziggy or Invisible Tej, or a couple of us could be invisible.
Who's T-
Or not Tej.
Invisible
Kira.
things.
Kira.
I wasn't gonna say anything. It's fine. I mean, yeah. My cloak would help make me nearly imperceptible.
Tej is that disguised person that we saw before.
We're going to have to stop it now.
The-
we're going
the
to do
pirate
it the whole
They're
alter
time.
ego.
as dangerous
Kira.
as you think they are. You gotta be careful, because
Well, and they're
I'm pretty
ships.
tapped out. I'm covered in froghemoth bile right
Right.
now.
Kins,
I'm half digested.
Yes.
I'm okay with like getting some recon before we start our conversations. I mean, we could probably send one person over. You could do water walking again, I assume. Do you have the ability to make us walk on water again?
Yep.
And Belrissa, you could turn him in.
I can turn into
turn
an
her
eagle
invisible.
I
and
can-
fly overhead.
Yeah,
No, I mean, the boat's in the middle of the of the
Yeah.
port. Like, you're not just gonna swim there.
No,
So if
I'm
you
gonna
could-
fly there.
No, not you. If you turn Kira, I mean, you do great things, Kins, but sneaking around in giant eagle form is not what I think we had in mind. Maybe an invisible Kira
Seagull.
who can walk on water
Seagull. You should
can go
transform
check
to a
out
seagull.
the boat.
and Ziggy can come with you to keep
And
an eye
Zizi
on
can
you.
go with.
Yeah.
And I could make
definitely.
one more invisible if anyone wants to go.
Can bring the cat for sure. As long as he doesn't pee on me or anything. I know the first time we met, he was having a bit of a tinkle.
He's a
with
little
that.
he's a little free with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta.
So
He- I
I
mean,
guess that was quite the introduction to you.
He has led.
Speaking of that,
he led an
I
army of
snapped him back
centaurs.
into existence.
Yeah.
I call him
Missing
forth.
cat.
So are Kins and I staying here?
I think I'll stay here. I mean, I think all of us are staying here except for Kira and.
Do you have a way to communicate with us? What if Ziggy gets, zapped out of existence?
Does Ziggy have a telepathic connection to you?
Yes. Yeah, so I can see
same.
and hear anything that he's
That's perfect.
seeing.
Well, we
So,
end up lickety split. I just want to get in the captain's quarters, dig through his desk drawers, and find out what's going on while they're here.
sounds
Oh,
good.
you're just gonna pop into the captain's quarters? It'll be fine. Good
You'd be
luck.
surprised.
Belly the beast, am I right?
Only one way.
Well, and also, isn't captain's quarters typically is the giant like ass end of the ship with all the windows and stuff? Like every major like boat movie ever, the captain always sits in that giant ass room that's right off the main deck. That I mean, right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
It's not like it's. I'm not going into the belly of this ship where they.
Who would
Yeah.
do that? Like go all the way down to the bottom of a enemy ship, try to rescue people in
Fun.
cages or something. I don't know.
Well, Kira never came back. She just she.
Maybe Kins could provide some air support. But, less conspicuous than as an eagle. If you're not gonna go down there, I do have a business discussion to have with you. But whatever. I can handle
it's
more than one
fine.
thing.
Mayor Vin
Multitask.
says this is the plan, so I guess here you go. I'll just tap Kira and be like, "Here's your water walk. Have fun," and I'm going to the bar.
Bars ready.
I do like the idea of talking to Winnie and getting your armor. I mean, we can do that while this is going on, I assume, or this afternoon anyway, sometime.
I don't want my armor right now. It's been a day. I'm not gonna leave this in unless I absolutely have to. Cavern.
I gotta wait for the nighttime anyway, so I don't know what's
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so we're not going now?
Talent show.
Walk on the water.
Speaking of the talent show, I'm having a thought. So like, you can make people walk on water. Belrissa can make
Oh my
people
gosh.
invisible.
Do I
we could-
want people to know that I can make people walk on water? That's the question.
Oh my god. Is this even a thought? Yes,
Oh,
every
no,
cool
I
thing that I
don't.
can do, I
Oh
tell
my-
everyone.
Oh no.
Like she's gonna
You
sit
don't
like
have
in a
any
stool.
secrets?
No, Kins, I can res people now from the dead.
Well, don't go announcing that to everyone.
Does anyone have diamonds?
No. Oh. I thought you were gonna announce it.
Well, like Kins is gonna sit next to a box, like put a quarter and you can dance on the lake for a few minutes.
This
Here.
is what I'm saying. There's,
Come on.
there's like a, or maybe we could establish some kind of. You know, I feel like I belong on the stage. I feel we could do some kind of trick where you lend me some of your amazing abilities, such as walking on water. We'll fill up like a bin of water, a bucket, a tub, and I'll like do a dance. Sparrow will play music. The
You know, if
one
I
guy
do
will pop
that,
his
it
eye out.
lasts an hour, so you can't like do anything underwater. It'll just pop you out. So any water-related things, it's gonna be lasting.
I haven't
an
gone
hour.
in the water since the Oasis. That was
No baths,
weeks
maybe.
ago.
I don't know. Any water-related things. Speaking of baths,
You going to take a bath?
no, I thought you said that you were drenched with monster guts or whatever.
You do have a bit of stench to you.
I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna say anything, but because you
Me.
do, you do own the establishment, but
Oh, it's good.
it is vile being near you right now. Do you think you could perhaps maybe go down to the water and at least wash your face or your hands? You're touching everything, and I think
That's
it's
hurtful
starting.
to
Serving
me.
drinks
It's starting
and
to
everything.
weird out some of the customers. I would.
Flops.
I don't. I know I don't ask much, but I would really
I
appreciate.
mean, if it was anyone else, I would have some kind of amazing rebuttal. But yes, I will go down and smash
We've
my
got to
face
have
into
Thank you,
some
Lord.
water.
washing. We've got to have a washroom in the.
This will be
tavern.
easier. I'm out the door.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay.
I would like to have. Can we at least go check the armors while the daylight is there? If anybody wants to go talk to Winnie, we can do that, and then let's just say we're all gonna chill till it's night, right? Nobody. We don't have anything else. We
I
need to
wouldn't
get
mind
done.
hitting up does the town of a merchant, like a store?
Mhm.
Okay. So I would be interested in that. I really don't give a shit about Winnie or her goat, so I had to carry it all the way home. So I'm really
Yeah. You were
Here's,
done
like,
with the
really
goat.
happy
you got your
to be
own
done with the
smells
goat.
going on.
Yeah.
You're trying to.
We do have a general store. I don't know who runs it, but we've got one.
I'm gonna meet him and I'll tell you all about him.
Nice.
I'm
Okay. Well, I want to go check the armors.
Okay.
Good up.
That's 1,500 gold, man. Like we dropped that 45 days ago. Ready to pick up this investment.
Oh man, clean armor.
All right. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
with the
Quick
bath.
backstroke.
So you just run down and just dive into the
Yeah,
harbor.
Go under, blow my nose.
You just jump off the pier like a high school kid. You're just like,
Armpit,
just like going for
armpit,
it.
beard. I'm out.
I like to imagine you shamelessly naked on the pier in front of all the people
Oh.
that are just there.
I'm definitely naked. Yes.
Sweet. That's like way better.
Chafing.
Uh,
I wear plate armor, people. It's not pleasant. I do it to survive.
Amazing.
Plate armor and a little cape with patches on
I
it.
do have the cape, yes.
The little cape's wrapped around him like a tiny towel.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Vin. So is
Yes.
it just you going
yeah, I
to?
guess so. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So the store's open. So you walk in. There's kind of a long counter that stretches across with a door. A half door on the left side. You can see there's a forge in the back, loads of tools, and Naj, who you remember meeting last time, walks up. Ah, you're back.
We are. It has been a while.
She
How's
says,
the new city been treating you?
she says, I can't remember what my accent sounds like, so thinking about it really hard right now.
Somewhere between that and Russian, it was a little.
It was, yeah.
Middle Eastern Russian. French maybe in there somewhere. I don't know.
Just French, Middle Eastern, Russian. Totally.
Well known.
She says, yes, the armor is ready, and it's actually been ready for a while because you guys went to the desert and kind of came back for that. So, but she brings you the set. Was it a half? Was it full plate? Right? It was a set of full plate.
It's full plate.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say like you probably can barely lift this, Finn.
Yeah, like I need a cart or something, or can we have it delivered to the?
I come ripping in. I'm wearing.
Just butt naked.
I put my undergarments back on, but I'm dripping all over the place. I'm here for the armor.
Okay, I'll see. I mean, if that's true, then let's see if
Can you
Yanni.
not carry this?
If Yanni, I cannot carry this. It's crazy. I can't believe you can move in
It
this.
should work out.
But if Yanni can maybe help Jessie get set up, I did want to talk to Naj just a little bit and get a feel for, like, how's it been with the new mine opening up? Or like, are you getting a good supply of the iron? I mean, we haven't had a chance really to talk to Remus either. Like, are you able to make? I saw some of the gear that the guards have been using. It looks definitely like an upgrade.
It's been much better, yes. The constant supply of materials has been for many years. Solo and I and Yanni, we build off a base nothing. You know, we find old thing, we melt it down, and we to have fresh, pure iron is incredible. Yes, it has enabled us to make many more tools than we could before. We can make better weapons, stronger, sharper. It's been very good. This armor, I mean, this is some of the finest metal I've ever worked with, and I hope it doesn't chafe too bad. You know, try baby powder.
Okay, I was gonna ask if you had a recommendation.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure that'll work. You thought about taking on any other apprentices? Feels like the town's growing. I don't know. I just think we might want to just think about increasing our production a little bit.
This is a thing we've been talking. My son is very talented, but there's just too much to do, and we've had a lot of help with some of the less technical things. You know, carrying and moving materials for us. That's very helpful. But yes, I am in the market, you might say, to teach new people how to work metal. There's many things to make, and there is a never-ending list of what Remus is asking, what Keith is asking, what the fishermen are asking, what the farmers need, and more than we can produce ourselves. Yes.
Yeah, we'll keep our ear open too. Maybe we can send you some help. Appreciate it. Appreciate the work, and this is beautiful, Jessie. I'll take a look over. How's it fit, man?
So
Beautiful.
donning a set of full plate takes like a while. I would say Yanni's like up on a
It's been a
stool, like
30
helping you with all the
minute,
straps.
But at
like,
least I stripped all my other stuff was off, which is its own process.
stop moving. It's just like this little obnoxious.
I have leg hair.
Where's the
That's so
robot
tight.
man? He was supposed to going to teach me how to make a thing like that. He promised me what, and
You want to know the whole story?
You've got a couple hours while they're putting on the armor, and Jessie tells them the story.
Desert, oasis, robot, dead people, super robot, evil dwarf.
he looks over at you, Vin. He's like, "So you are the robot?"
Well, he was a ghost robot
I
for a
was a
while.
robot for a while.
You
but
can teach
not-
me then? Huh?
No. I could teach you how to be a robot. I cannot teach you how to make a robot.
You could teach me how to be a robot?
Or a ghost.
You have to die first.
Teach me.
That's the downside, Yanni. You have to die first.
And Naj walks over and smacks him on the back of the head. You're not going to die to be a robot. I need you back in the shop. Go, 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 go.
All right, cool.
All right, so yeah,
good.
we head out of there.
What does this look like? Is it just
It
like
looks-
a silvery metallic?
It
iron?
looks like the armor in your artwork that you finally have in in character.
Final
now.
form.
You've achieved your final form.
And
Totally.
Is there stats involved?
Yeah, it'll be
Yep.
it'll be full plate.
Okay, it's specifically. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's full plate. So you're almost certainly getting an AC boost, but I don't know it off the top of my head. We can look it up after. Which you're like 20 AC already, so yeah. You're just gonna stand in the middle of the battlefield
But
like this.
and yet still he manages to get grappled and eaten.
Yeah.
Every other battle. So. All right, cool.
Okay, cool. Let's cut to so are the three of you together? Kins, Kira, Belrissa?
I'm not going to talk to the goat, so you. I'm
Oh, the
I'm
goat.
having a
Who's
sandwich.
going to see
Why
the
do
goat?
you hate
You're
the
having a
goat?
sandwich.
You can
My
attend
goodness.
to the goat. I mean,
Belrissa, do you want to go talk to Winnie? If not, I can just go alone. It's fine.
We saved the goat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, I will go and I'll say bye to them.
Sandwiches and tea with Winnie, maybe. I don't know, like,
But so like Kins is leaving, but she's not going to Winnie's. She's going to Rowan's.
Oh,
Bloody knew it. I bloody knew it.
You don't know this, Kira.
Tej knew.
so as you approach the stables, you see Rowan, and you see that the fence that was damaged has been repaired, and he's kind of over on the backside of the of the area, just moving some hay around and tending to some of the animals that are there. He sees you approaching, and he throws his pitchfork down, and he walks into the building. And as you go inside, you can see he's wiping his hands with a rag, and he says, "It is nice to see you. Thank you for coming again. Were
Yeah,
you successful? I've heard that there was some large, dangerous thing. Are you all right?"
Oh, I am fine. It was super scary though because okay. I mean, there's no one in this room, right? Just me and Rowan,
No,
right?
yeah, it's just
Okay.
and some
so
pigs.
I really like to turn into a polar bear, but this giant thing came up and it had all these tentacles and it picked me up in the air, which is I'm not used to that. I'm used to it when I turn into an eagle, I get punched a lot, but I was just flying and my friends got swallowed. So I'm just like recounting like very dramatically how this battle unfolded.
He says, "I know it well. This feeling of being invincible. When you gain these powers, you will feel like you can do anything. You turn into a big, strong beast. And then suddenly you realize you are not as strong as you thought. It's a good lesson, no?"
Oh, absolutely. I mean, do you transform to anything?
And you see him like, he's like constantly looking over his shoulder. Like he's,
Oh, right. Whisper.
yeah, he's like, as you're with this guy, it's a combination of being excited to talk to you. Like he's clearly enjoys your company, but he's also like, he's nervous to be having this conversation too. But he says, "It has been a long time now. Now I spend my time with these animals."
Well, unfortunately, we only were able to bring back Winnie's goat. I think the monster might have eaten the other animals, but we're working on trying to make sure. I mean, now we took down the big monster. I don't think it should be coming back here. There was this, it opened its mouth, and there were these little floaty things, and it was putting the animals to sleep. And that's probably why you didn't hear anything. And it was just like stumbling through and grabbing them. But my goodness, I'm glad that that's over.
I am glad too. I am sorry to hear the animals did not make it. What a horrible way to die. But I'm glad you are safe. Will you be visiting the island soon?
I would love to visit the island, and I would love to take you with me. I'm not sure when the best time would be. I mean, my friends keep saying that they don't want to go to the island, and I feel bad. I don't like to be away from them. I mean, I grew up by myself, but I did have some close friends when I, had to survive on my own. And
he interrupts you, and he puts his hand on his giant hand. The hand is like as big as your head. Just kind of like gently puts it on your shoulder. He looks, a soft touch, and he says, "That tree has stood for 1,000 years. You can be gone a few months. Don't worry."
Okay.
And he kind of turns his back to you, and he kind of walks towards one of like the half doors, that the barn has, and he kind of gazes out, and he says, "Why is the tavern music still playing? It's so loud."
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was like, "Oh, he has the same guys in his shop as we have at the
They
tavern."
never stop yelling. Now he kind of gazes out over the into the forest, and he says, "There are so many beautiful forests out there. Places we once could go freely that now are either gone or too dangerous. We are lucky to be here to have this, but I yearn for the outside again." He turns back and he says, "I'm sorry. I'm glad you're safe, Kins. If there's anything else I can do, please, never hesitate. You are the Grove Keeper."
I am the Grove Keeper, I say, somewhat, apprehensively. Rowan,
It's getting warm on the farm, or is it just me?
No.
Goodness.
I hope you don't. I hope this question isn't a little too personal, but you mentioned your grandfather before. What was his name?
My grandfather's name? It's an interesting question. His name was Rogbard, and he lived on the island a long time ago. He was a good man. He, like the others, no one survived. And those of us he was able to get out, we fled across the sea. And before we had the mind to go back, it was just too dangerous. And seems to be lost in thought after that.
Is there, a cabinet or, someplace that can be, concealed near me?
Make a perception check. These freaking seagulls are everywhere. You're ruining the moment, seagulls.
It's Portsmouth.
Oh,
No,
dang.
it's normal. They're
12.
druids.
They're so
I
loud.
love this shit.
They're all it's a gang of druids. No one is safe.
Stealing people's French fries, and pooping everywhere.
The seagulls are druids. I'm
Trash
saying the
druids, man.
druids love
It's like-
seagulls.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's like
I was picturing like
Like
a
an
1,000
aria.
seagulls, and they're all secret druids.
I don't know,
That'd be
man.
amazing.
An army of secret druids.
Taking people's.
Work for decades to acquire this power just to get extra French fries.
Yep. 12.
12. Yeah, he is distracted by the memories, lost in thought. He turns away again and is just kind of, he's got his default pose. He kind of clasps his hand behind his back and just kind of leans back in this kind of, he's just kind of gazing out and watching the birds and the seagulls. Yeah, there's a cabinet along the wall.
Okay, well, I kind of want to open the cabinet, and on the inside of it, I want to use my mold earth to, so one of the features of it is that I can cause shapes and colors to appear. And I want to put like a little image of the banyan tree, and I'll just close the cabinet. And I'll turn to him and I'll say, I'll be sure you'll be the first person I visit when I decide to go back to the island. And hopefully we can revisit some memories. And of course, the lovely tree.
He smiles at you, and we fade to black as we smash cut to Belrissa and Kira. The evening has come. It is dark. What do you want to do?
Kira would like to look at the band of pirates, who I assume are still here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's even more of them here now.
Great. I'm gonna look to see if there's any kind of like set of keys or something I could easily swipe off one of these guys.
What do you perceive? What do the
let's-
small magical stones tell you that you perceive in the general area?
I perceive 9 sparkly potential things to steal.
9 of them, huh? That's not enough sparklies. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but you so you know, you're pretty good at like blending in, right? So you're kind of moving around, you're talking to everybody. Everybody's, you know, been drinking all day, like, and nobody's like hostile or anything like that. It's actually pretty cool in here. Like, you know, these guys are all pretty nice, and the townspeople don't seem overly intimidated or anything like that. But everybody's getting pretty drunk, so you're able to move around pretty easy. You know, you're checking belt loops, you're checking, like, you know, getting the odd look under the cloak here and there. You don't see anything. These guys are all, you know, they're like armed, but they're not like armed to the teeth, you know, like bandit style. But they no keys or anything that would seem like one.
Okay, Boris, I've just done a quick lap around the room, and none of these guys seem to be important enough to have anything of value as it pertains to the ship. No keys, no large rubied swords, or anything that would indicate rank. I think they're all just a bunch of drunkards just here getting smashed on our boat. So
Okay.
I think we should have a pretty easy time hopping along the ship and having a look-see.
Okay. I'm gonna call Ziggy out. I'm like, Ziggy.
Hey,
Hey.
hey,
Hey.
hey! I appreciate when you sort of put me away, but didn't put me away. You know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I like that. We haven't really done that before, you know.
Well, yeah, you fell asleep. Like, well.
Well, I was tired, you know. I work really hard.
Okay. So, hey, you remember when we found you? You were in a cage in a pirate captain's quarters. Do you remember that? You were a little like less evil, less talented then.
That was sort of a different time of my life, you know. But I remember a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Are you up for another? Are you up for a pirate spy mission? It's super important.
Am I up for a freaking pirate spy mission?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
You get to ride with me, little one.
Great. That just really gets me excited. I can't even tell you how excited I am to ride with you.
All right. Well,
No.
you know, if you'd
What?
like to join,
Thanks,
you're
but no
perfectly welcome
thanks.
to do it all by yourself.
What's wrong? Ziggy, be nice.
I only got eyes for you, girl.
I don't want
And he
your
kind of
eyes
crawls
to-
up on your shoulder, kind of digs in a little bit, you know, that. Ziggy's back.
He'll be nice, I promise.
Sure.
So do you have
Sir.
a plan on how you're going to get
I
into
was
this
going to say
boat?
the same thing.
Well, you're water walking, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to hit the side of the boat. Like, do you have a grappling hook or?
Isn't there like a
climbing
ladder
skills? Like, what?
usually? Like, how do people get on the little boats to
Well, yeah,
to
but
go
he
to
doesn't
shore.
want to use the normal ladder.
Well, why not?
She doesn't want-
My bag of tricks is quite deep.
Okay.
I
All right. Just
think it'll be
want to
all
make
right.
sure we're all on the same page here. Like, there's got
Yeah.
to be some method of getting onto the boat.
Mm-hmm.
But good luck. Ziggy can communicate back to us anything that's happening. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll be able to help
So,
you. But
Are we
Here's
ready?
a thought. Here's a thought. So you said Ziggy can make one person invisible.
No, I can make
You can
make
make
one.
one person invisible.
I can make two
Okay.
people.
Ziggy can be invisible on his own.
Yeah, he
Would
has
this
his own
not be
invisible power.
easier, rather than walking to God knows how far out? Like, what if Kins was invisible as an animal?
And flew you over there?
Well, fly, swim, what? Maybe she's a
Oh
giant
my God.
lapras. I
Ghost
don't know,
robot?
like, whatever.
Invisible eagle.
Yeah. Like,
We
would that
are
not be a
in
little bit more
chapter
efficient
2.
than us being like, see that ship about 2 miles offshore? I'd love to go for a quick.
You want to
run
walk
on the
that
water."
far?
It's not that far.
No, it's definitely not that far. It's like maybe 50 yards.
Oh,
sure.
okay.
It's not that far at all.
When you painted the picture, Jay was like, and you see in the distance a ship. It's not
'cause of
docked.
my
I was like,
image.
oh my,
Yeah, yeah.
Misleading.
so far. Okay, well, good. Well, then I guess I could probably walk 50 yards if I really, you really need to ask me to do that. I could do that.
Wait, the problem with Kin's in animal form is, like, she can't talk to you. So there's no communication that happens there unless she comes out of animal form.
Ooh, okay, I've got it. We should definitely water walk. But okay, if Ziggy's coming, you could take any animal, anyone. Ken?
Kin's?
Things that I've had meaningful encounters with.
Oh,
What type of animal would you like to know if I
Well-
can transform into?
well, I was like, what's an animal that you commonly find on a ship like that? Either be like a seagull or
A giant rat.
A giant rat is not the answer.
Okay, a tiny rat.
Giant
A
rat.
normal sized rat.
Like what? Like okay,
Look,
like what,
I love
they're
being
just like,
giant.
Oh my God! There's a potential for it to be quite useful to have a rat-sized thing able to go places that maybe I can't go right off the rip.
This is very true.
It's true. It's true.
So same thing
Squeeze through
though.
doors and stuff.
I have mimed rat with Belarissa, so I can't talk to you.
Wait, this is so off. This is a total tangent, but is anybody here watching the anime Demon Slayer? Is anybody?
No.
Like, okay, this will mean nothing to you, but there are mice in this anime that are called the muscle mice, and they are these ripped
gosh.
mice that are hyper intelligent but can't speak. And they like bring the heroes stuff occasionally, and then they just sit there like flexing their pecs and stuff. And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I'm just imagining getting this rat miming, just like these muscle mice. Just like,
That's exactly how it went down.
This is how it goes.
so I think that you should hop in a shirt pocket or something. And
I mean,
tell
you
us
might not be able to communicate, but you could like see stuff and then later tell us about
Right.
it.
Sure.
Well, and you
I
can
can
open
smell.
door, like get inside of a door,
Right.
Oh my
go through a
goodness.
window.
Crawl beneath the floorboards.
Bars,
Okay.
you know.
All right.
Until I take
So-
damage and pop out, and there's like, oh, a druid's on board.
For your one hit
That
point
would never
in rat
happen.
form.
Then you turn into a seagull, and they'll never be able to tell.
They'll
which one
never
you
not
are.
be able to tell. Yeah.
How many
Okay.
times can you do? Well,
I only have one more because I already used one for polar bear.
but do you get those back after a short rest?
Yes, it's almost as though we fought literally today.
But when do you get those back? Is it long rest
short
or short
rest.
rest? Yeah. Well, we've taken a short rest since.
So
It's-
Jay,
it's
will I have
fine.
an opportunity to hit that general store like tomorrow?
Oh yeah, we can retcon. I forgot about that. We can.
Okay. I don't know. I don't care when it happens. I just want to,
I'd like
We're-
to go to the store, so tomorrow sounds good.
Okay, so
Tomorrow
they're
sounds
they,
good. Okay.
they can't seem to figure out a plan, so we could go there now, if you want, or we can go tomorrow morning. It doesn't matter.
No,
Totally
I
up to
love
you.
this. I love it.
We'll just go in
Kira's
the
gonna
evening.
carry
Or
Ratkins in the pocket
Yeah.
with Ziggy.
You like worm
Yes.
tail
reporting
it.
back to us.
yes.
It's all good.
I like. We've got this far. Evening's fallen. We have. Yeah. Let's.
Yeah, it's good. I
let's
like
do
it.
the ship.
Should we wait like
Stir in some chili.
on the dock for you in case something terrible happens, or
Please.
Just
That
go
would be
fishing.
great.
okay,
Just leave us.
so we shouldn't just go head back to the bar and start drinking.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
We're gonna go sneak onto the pirate ship.
I mean, I was planning on staying at the bar. No one.
That's
that
what
wasn't the plan. Okay.
Well, paint
okay.
us a picture, Jay.
Oh.
How quickly could we react?
Yeah, from the bar to.
If we got like Ziggy sent an emergency message, would it
Okay,
take like
so-
10 minutes?
It would be more
Yeah, like,
suspicious
what's
if
the
you were just
walking
patrolling the
Dude, if
wall.
it takes you 10 minutes to go 50 yards, like how heavy is this armor? This sounds like
It's
more of
heavy.
a hindrance than a help.
Oh, it's heavy. It's
No,
heavy.
it's
like
it's
a waiter.
it's probably like a I don't know, a 3 or 4 minute walk from the end of the dock to get to where this boat is moored, out in the middle of Rock Harbor. And then from the Sleeping Savior, so there's a Widow's Walk at the top where you could probably like go up there and watch what's going on, perhaps. Or if you just needed a telepathic message, to run from like the inside of the Sleeping Savior to the end of the dock is probably 2 minutes. And then from the dock, to the ship, another 3 or 4 minutes, assuming you could walk on water or whatever. If you had to swim it or row a boat, quite a bit
All right, so
more.
Ken
Well,
should
what-
give us all a water walk. Let's just all go down to the dock. That's
Well, what
fine.
if we wait like on the water?
Yeah, maybe we
Like
could go to
outside the
side.
boat, just kind of walking on the
We're
water,
all
hanging
just
out. We're
hanging
just
out
Yeah.
You
on
guys
the water.
can test my
Yes.
armor. I'd like to
then
see
we're
how
then
it
we're
reacts, how my
super
movement
close.
is.
No one is gonna look for us in the middle of the water.
So we're not invisible.
No, it's
So
just
we're
dark
just
though.
hanging out, not invisible on the water.
my
This is
Yes,
a perfect
I
plan.
literally want to spar. I would like to spar in my armor so that I can get used to moving.
Yeah, that's great if we're on shore, but
Yes,
not
on
if we're
shore.
just standing on the water.
No, not on the
outside of the
water.
pirate.
Yes. Maybe on the water.
Picturing like
That'd
a
be good
Jean-Claude
training.
Van Damme movie where he's just on the water, like just
badger.
doing like.
Oh no.
Okay, so we're all at the shore. Ken's cast water walk on us,
Yes.
and then turns into a rat. And then we
Kira puts me in her pocket.
Melrissa
Wait,
turns
what is Ziggy
you
doing?
invisible. Ziggy's invisible, flying out.
Flying.
This is
Yeah.
the flagship episode for our channel.
Ziggy's gonna sit on Kira's shoulder so he doesn't lose track of you,
Okay.
since you're gonna be invisible.
Yes.
Ken's in the pocket beneath the. I actually, you know, what I kind of like better. Kira has a You guys, I haven't told you this, but it'll come up at some point. But Kira has a very ornate brooch that holds the cloak. You know. So I don't. I'm not shirt pockets. I don't really. I'm not a dude, so. I'm
You
not
want
wearing
me
a
to be
dress shirt.
hiding behind
You don't
the
have
brooch,
like an
hanging
internal
off?
pocket
I
on your.
think you have tiny paws over top
Yeah.
of my brooch, and you're just
Dress with
riding
pockets.
front and center.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jay's gonna make me do a strength check or something.
That's when
Grab,
you just try
grab
to.
biceps.
That's when you try to shove people out of a window. All right, and then we're just going to be on the shore. I think that's as
Yeah.
far as we can get.
Okay.
I don't feel good walking out on the water, Melrissa.
But
Not invisible.
okay, I
I'll
mean,
still cast it on everyone just in case.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we can.
Like, what if the pirates stop drinking and they start to sail back? And just
It's nighttime. You can pop a
Vin is
pop a
just standing on the
darkness
water
around us.
doing forms.
yes, we
Pop
could
a
be in a
darkness.
darkness.
But can you
Ooh,
do
that's
invisibility and darkness at the same time?
No, I can't.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah,
It's dark enough out there. It's the ocean. There's not like lights.
that's what I'm saying.
an invisible demon cat, a rat druid, and a scout walk onto a pirate ship.
There you go. It's a perfect plan.
Okay, so as we approach this pirate ship, my plan is to climb the anchor chain.
Okay. Just so I got this
And I
straight.
would really like to make an acrobatics check for that.
So Ziggy's on your shoulder, which you can
Yeah.
feel because even through your leather armor, you can feel his little claws just like digging in.
Great.
Somehow it still
What a
hurts.
dick.
You know, between the badger, the goat, and the cat, my shoulders have really had enough of.
Yeah.
One day.
And you can feel his little nose on your neck. He's like sniffing constantly where like the goat smell was. It's like his little wet nose. It's just and you're just going like this the whole time. And Kin's Kins is beneath. I'm imagining like beneath your cloak. You're like cheating the magic here to like get a double invisibility. You're like Harry Potter cloaking around
Heck yes.
around Kins as a rat,
Oh.
which we're gonna say works.
Okay.
And then you're walking on the water.
Yes. So the
In the
order:
dark.
pass without trace, water walk, and then I transform into the rat, go into the thing.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect order of
And I have-
operations.
Having magic is crazy.
Jeez.
No wonder these people hate it.
Cloak of Elvenkind.
Sure.
So you've got +10 to your stealth rolls and with advantage. All right. So you're
Yep.
there. You go.
Be fine.
So
Only not gonna roll 2 natural ones.
Don't
Definitely.
put that in the universe.
Okay.
Also, Ziggy can fly. Don't let him tell you otherwise.
yeah, I was gonna say I
doesn't-
shouldn't really have to climb
does
the
it
chain.
have-
with Ziggy
But he sounds
on
like a
me, right?
hummingbird when he's flying. He's like.
He can also turn into other things too. Like he could be a little spider on your shoulder.
What?
That would be adorable.
I don't think that's better.
No.
Yeah.
Whatever one's not
Little
gonna piss
Brooklyn
on me.
spider.
That's the
All right.
Okay. Stealth check, Kira.
stealth check. You got it. That's a 31.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You feel pretty stealthy. The only thing you're noticing is there's a very slight breeze, so the water is not glassy. There's some ripples and some waves, some swells coming in from the inlet. But you are making like footprints in the water as you go, and there's like these ripples coming out. But you
Not
kind of like
pass without a trace.
take. You know what? You're right. That doesn't leave footprints, does it? Would that
No.
apply to water?
The ripples.
Sure.
Yes.
So there,
I doubt
It doesn't matter because it's irrelevant
the
because
book.
your stealth check is you're kind of you're like walking with the swell to like hide your ripples. You're dialed in. You're moving across the water, and as you approach the ship, it's a large galleon-sized ship. You've probably you've seen some of these up close. Probably never been on one. It's very large, and as you approach, you can see one of the things that strikes you. Actually, make a perception check as you get closer.
I really should have spec'd the wisdom. Friggin' perception check. That's gonna be a natural 20.
Natural
Oh
20.
yeah.
Boom. Okay, I feel like we haven't had one of those in a long time.
oh yeah. Good time.
So as you approach, the ship seems to sit almost like perfectly in the water. Like it barely seems to be like the water around the ship almost doesn't seem properly affected by the ship sitting in the water. You can see the waves lapping up against it, but they don't lap all the way up the hull. It's very weird to you. As you look at the hull itself, just in the gleam of the moonlight, you are half elf, so you have decent dark vision. So you're kind of you're kind of looking, and the hull looks absolutely perfect and pristine. Like there's not a scratch on this thing. It is immaculate. You look at the rigging, and everything is absolutely perfect. You can see men moving around, working the rigging and just going about their tasks. It's not like late at night. It's probably, let's say 7 p.m., right? So it's, shortly probably after dinner, but not everybody's like turned in for the night yet. So there's still some people out on the deck drinking, and a couple of guys are like throwing knives into a thing and just like some stuff going on. It's a big ship, so you'd guess probably 40 or 50 people are on the ship at the moment. So there's a lot of people around, but everything is just absolutely perfect. And that's striking to you. You see the anchor chain, and as it goes down into the water, the waves seem to pass right through it. And as you walk up to it, what do you want to do?
I will, have a suspicion that there's some form of magic at play, because it would be the physics are not lining up with what I'm perceiving.
Yeah, with a nat 20, that would be a very apt thing. Yeah, idea.
Great. I'm going to already start to assume that I'm that climbing up this chain, as I would have been very capable of doing, is somehow not going to be as easy as I thought. And I will just kind of reach out to, not quite start to try to climb the chain, but just kind of kind of just feel it, fit around it, see if what do I get from touching the chain?
When you reach out and touch the chain is there.
Okay.
But it is slightly shifted away. Like there's an illusion of the chain. And you can't see the actual chain, but you feel it there.
So almost as if this ship, whatever, it maybe is not the ship. That there's some sort of glamour magic being cast to make it look like the Black Sail ship. And this could in fact be a different ship.
There's definitely like a glamorous type of magic, like some sort of mirage, something going on. But it does appear. We're still rolling off your nat 20 here, so I'm gonna say like as you're feeling the chain, it feels like the same chain. You also feel that you can't see your hand because you're invisible, but you feel the metal is oxidized and like it's like almost crumbly and kind of dirty in your hand, whereas the image of the chain is this pristine metal. And you can like you kind of do this instinctually, and you can feel like metal dust kind of like rolling off your hands. But you give it a tug, and it feels secure. You just can't see it, so it's awkward.
Okay. Also, just in the effort of transparency and fairness, I don't know that I'm invisible, or at least not fully. The cloak doesn't make me invisible. It simply gives me like chameleon-esque.
Wait, you're not invisible?
No, I cast invisible.
Oh, you gave me. Okay,
Okay.
sorry. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Because that changes. That would change
my
things.
Gosh.
The
No,
cloak doesn't do that. I just wanted to. Okay.
Be a
You're
sweet
invisible.
cloak
The rat is not.
No, I
except that
cast
she's
both.
inside of you.
tucked in.
Both.
Oh, you did both?
Oh, the
Yeah.
rat's invisible too?
I cast it at 3rd level, so
Oh.
you're both invisible.
Okay.
Oh, thank you,
Tight.
Clarissa.
All right.
Wow.
thank
You
okay.
hear Ziggy
That's
meowing
awesome.
in the background, just like
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
didn't
giving it all away.
Yeah. Ziggy's like, what's
that
going
sounds about
on
right.
here?
Anytime something quiet or important is happening, the cat's just going mad.
Am I right?
I don't necessarily, I'll just say out loud to no one in particular, but to the group, but to no one, just like something not right about the ship. And then I'll start to climb the chain.
Squeak.
Yeah, I know. I'm shaking my little rat head. Like,
Okay, make an acrobatics check to climb this awkward.
That's
chain.
a natural
Another nat
20.
20.
Woo!
2 nat 20s in a row. Oh, okay.
oh,
So, just like picture this in your head, right? So you're invisible. The chain is invisible.
Yeah.
So you can't see your hand or the thing your hand is holding on to, because there's a mirror image of the chain, like maybe 6 inches to the side, and you're like using that to like, and obviously you can feel it kind of, so you're like letting it roll up your arm and like grabbing it, and you're like sliding your toe kind of up to find purchase with the inside of one of the iron rings. And it is the most awkward experience of your life, Kira, as you climb this invisible chain while being invisible. But somehow your instinct kicks in, and you take it slow, and you work your way up, and you get into a rhythm, and you come up to the back. Basically, the anchor chain actually just kind of dies into the back of the stern, and then about, I'd say, 4 feet above you, there's the balcony, which kind of sticks out. So it's like an overhang. So you're kind of at the top of the anchor chain, and like above you, you've got this underside of this balcony kind of sticking out. With your nat 20, I'm going to say that you're able to kind of get up, and you're in your element. You plant a foot on the top of you reach one hand up, and you're able to crimp onto like this one board that's sticking out. Now, as you get up to the ship itself, the same thing is happening. The wood and the paint and the finish of the stern and the back of the hull is visually perfect. It looks brand new, like it just rolled out of being made. But as you touch it, you can feel the texture of the wood does not match the visual. And again, it's a little bit shifted, so you kind of reach up, you crimp on this one board, and the texture of the wood is actually kind of rough, so you get a better grip. And you swing a hand out, and you kind of like grab and you hook onto the outside of the balcony. Your foot slips off of the chain, and you swing way out, but you're able to kind of reach and like grab with your other hand. You feel Ziggy kind of like grab it into your shoulder and you wince for a second, but you pull up and you start to mantle up onto that balcony. You're in. And as you climb onto the balcony, the mirage fades as you are now inside of it. And you see quite a few things here.
Okay. What part of the ship have I, what like front to back, where are we kind of over the rail here?
You are on the, you are on, let's see, the anchor is, you're on
This
the
is
back.
obviously the lower part of the belt. Like, you know, there's the stairs that go up to where the steering wheel is, and like this is the lower main bit.
Yeah,
somewhere,
right. Yeah,
Not
exactly.
Up on
So
the high part.
right.
Okay.
So the upper deck is above the captain's quarters.
Right.
Typically,
Yep.
right? So then there's the captain's quarters below that, and then you'd be below deck, right? So the anchor chain dies into basically about halfway up the back of the stern, we'll say, whatever. And then, so you're on kind of that balcony, which is about halfway up the stern. So you're on basically on the starboard stern, kind of on the right-hand back side of this boat. And the balcony wraps all the way around the stern. It's got a handful of lanterns on it, which are lit. Which were not lit as you were walking up to it. So that's one of the things you notice is that everything like the lighting changes, your perception of this whole area changes. The condition of the boat is immediately noticeable as being a lot more run down. It's not like decrepit, it's not falling apart. It does seem to be the same boat, but it's like it's way more beat up than it looks like. You are looking kind of towards a bunch of windows. They're semi-frosted, but you're looking basically into the captain's quarters.
All right. I want to like scoop Adorablecins off of my little brooch, and see
She's
to,
like, no.
I'm just gonna like point towards like the
Just flexes.
flexing muscle mouse. Like the little crack, you know, whatever. Maybe if the ship's really run down, I can't imagine the door matches to the frame perfectly. And just kind of point towards the door leading into the cabin quarters, and just kind of like, hey, go, you know, go look. See what's
So Kins, as you get pulled out of this pocket or whatever,
it's a brooch. Thank you.
brooch. Yes. Inside the captain's quarters, the lights are on, the lamps are burning, and you see there's a handful of people in there. You see a middle-aged human man with long silver hair, kind of this greasy silver hair, and an eye patch over his left eye. He's wearing hard leather, this dark oiled leather armor, and these birds gotta go, man. It's nighttime.
All day.
They're 24/7 seagulls.
They are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, let's
Damn druids.
Oh my gosh.
let's
It took me a second to figure out what was going on and what I said, because in my mind I'm like, oh, these are two druids. They love seagulls. But somehow I must have said all the seagulls are druids, which is much better in every way.
Jay, I want to be looking through Ziggy's eyes for most of this.
perfect. Okay.
Inspiring people.
Old gang, rise up.
All right.
The
Did we
right
get,
shoulder.
So, I guess I'm kind of excited. I'm sure there's more that you're seeing in there, Kins. But when you come back, I'm looking forward to the live pantomime of you telling me that Silver Nuts is inside there. And
Silver nuts.
You can
whatever
see
his
this
name
too, Kira, because there's windows. It's
oh,
windows.
well, you said they
yeah.
were frosty.
Well, they're sort of frosty,
Oh,
but you can
okay.
still they're like semi-frosted. Yeah. So, but you can kind of like peer through them, and there's also no door. There's not like a back door. So the balcony wraps around to the front, where there would be one main door into the captain's quarters. So.
well, now I don't get a pantomime, Jay. That's not nearly as exciting as it was about to be.
I
But
mean, I'm
you-
still going to do it because I don't know that you can see it.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah,
little rat.
she's invisible too.
Yeah, you're both invisible. It's
Oh, that's
Oh,
true. I'm not
right,
even
yeah,
So
gonna
yeah.
see
you
the
can't
camera.
actually communicate with each other.
So,
I'm just
but-
being lifted down.
but you
What if I
ran into the
sprinkled
room,
some dirt
kids.
on her, like so she was like a dirt silhouette.
No,
I
there's
am-
no way to get into the room from where you guys are. You're just looking through these windows.
Okay.
So am I on the windowsill?
Basically, you could even be on his shoulder, kind of looking in. But
Okay,
you
so
guys
we're
are
all
you're
pretty
still
good.
invisible.
The only thing I can do as a rat is smell. Is there anything that this rat can smell? Like, I don't know, blood, dying bodies.
Zombies.
Cheese, maybe. I mean, they,
Oh my God, zombies.
Yeah, well, sure. Why don't?
Frog.
How about both of you make a perception check
Rotting
Okay.
wood.
as we're.
I have advantage as a rat for perception.
Okay.
So I will roll that.
Right.
Oops.
Oh yeah, that's a 19.
Let's roll.
19.
nice.
Okay.
There's 16.
My thing didn't roll. Hold on.
Oh, I saw it on roll 20.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't have it up right now.
You got a 16. So a 16 and a 19.
16. And I have advantage. So what's my second roll?
12.
Okay, 16.
16 and 19. Okay, great. Yeah. So as you guys kind of get up and get your feet under you, and you finally manage to, your eyes adjust. As soon as you kind of moved through the illusion, the whole lighting changed. So your eyes kind of like shift a little bit, and you look inside, and you come into focus through the semi-frosted glass. This, mid-50s human, long kind of greasy hair with this leather armor on. He's got this eye patch. He's sitting kind of on like a futon or like a love seat style thing, kind of with one leg kind of thrown over, and he's just kind of relaxed, kind of sitting back, and he's got what looks like a glass of wine, goblet of some kind in his hand. Sitting across from him, Kins, is Henry Cobb.
No.
And a few chairs over, his granddaughter Velma. And they are just laughing. They are talking to each other like they clearly know each other.
Oh.
And Cobb's got a drink of his own. Cobb's no stranger to a few drinks, and it looks like he's had a few. The captain is a little bit more composed, but still seems jovial, and they seem to know each other. And Velma is in front of her. She has this nice spread of what looks to be all sorts of really good foods, and they do smell good even through the window. As a rat, you can smell these different cheeses and these kind of just really nice spread out in front of her, and she seems to be enjoying herself.
Rats and cheese.
But the two of them definitely seem to be well acquainted with this guy as they're talking. That's what you see.
How will you
It's
communicate
just the
that
three
to
of
me
them?
who's
I'm-
never heard these
Yeah,
characters?
I'm poking, I don't know, whatever, I guess your neck, because I don't know what this is right next
Sure.
to me. And you can't see me though,
And Belrissa, you saw all that too because you're looking through Ziggy.
right?
Uh-huh.
So, I guess. Are we gonna have to decloak to do the rest of
Well, Ziggy can talk, and Ziggy can talk to, like, Belrissa can see and talk through Ziggy. So
Okay.
Yeah.
you'll be talking to Ziggy, not to kids.
All right, Kins is upset. Ziggy, what's she on about?
That guy in there and his daughter, that's his daughter. They're like they're sailors. They're the ones who originally took us to the island. They're real nice people. So it's very strange to see them there.
They also got hung from a tree together.
Oh
And
yeah, I
almost
forgot
died.
about that part.
Yeah, they almost got killed by hags.
Wait,
Yeah.
is Ziggy saying this out loud?
Grant.
Like, can I hear it?
Yeah.
They almost got killed by
As-
hags.
As Ziggy's going, I'm like, kind of, even though Kira can't see me, I'm like acting it out. I'm just like,
they actually got
"Ah."
hung from a tree together. No, he's just saying everything he's here.
And then, yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is it's weird that they'd be with a pirate lord inside having, wine and biscuits.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Is it just the three of them? I thought you said there were like 6 people in there. Was it just 3 people?
It's the three of them sitting, and then if assuming that one of them who are there is asking this, over by basically the door that goes, the main door to get into this cabin, there looks to be 2 guards kind of standing on the inside of the door.
Through the glass, can I make out any ominous-looking documents or, artifacts or anything that would suggest a object or plot developing piece of equipment. Or...
Kira, the plot is developing. It is thickened.
There's like a book that's writing itself as you look over. Make an investigation check, Kira.
Okay.
As you don't recognize these people, so you're trying to look around. Use your instincts, look through the room from the angle you have anyway.
That's an 18.
18. Okay. So you're on the back in the captain's desk, which they're not sitting. They're kind of in a set of furniture out in front of the desk, but the main desk is kind of towards the back, and you're able to kind of position yourself so that you can kind of peer in and look through, and you're able to clean a bit of the glass and look through, and you see a bunch of charts on the table. You recognize some of them, but not all of them, and you're able to. Let's see. I'm going to have you roll an intelligence check to see what you can decipher from these nautical charts.
That's a natural 20.
Oh my gosh, you broke the game.
It's the dream.
That's
insane.
I hope this is going somewhere where you guys can see it, so I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, we see it.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, no, we see it.
That's 3 nat 20s out of 5 rolls.
You're not being on brand here.
Well, Jay,
Oh, it's a
another
bad
natural
plan.
20.
Don't worry. Good rolls for bad plans.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
The worse the plan, the better the rolls.
Okay, so you're looking at these nautical charts that are laid out, and there's like there's a compass, there's a sextant, there's a bunch of material, like a bunch of tools and stuff that you generally recognize as nautical navigation tools. And you notice that on one of the there's several charts that are kind of arranged in a particular way, and they've got some stuff kind of thrown over them, so they're it looks like a haphazard attempt to like cover it up, but you're able to kind of peer through it or peer around it and see. You notice that a course has been charted to the south. Like they are intending to go south, which is where you want to go.
Bay of Bones?
They are headed to the Bay of Bones, for sure, with a stop in Portsmouth, likely to resupply, or you're not entirely sure, but you could see that the course leads them here. The course takes them through Port Saurus and then further south to the Bay of Bones.
And Port Saurus was the furthest I ever got when I was doing my Mortimer.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
You also see, with your incredible Sherlock Holmes-like investigative ability, you follow the chart backwards. Where did they come from? And you can see part of it is covered up, but you see that chart goes way up north, farther north than you even knew existed. Like this chart takes them all the way to the very tip of the continent that you guys are on now, and it's covered up by like a big book or something that's kind of just on top of it, so you lose where it goes in the end. But these guys have been way up in the north, and like the distance from where they came from just to get to Portsmouth is like probably 10 times the distance from here to get to Port Saurus. Like it's been a very long journey that they've been on. And that's what you see. At this point, they all stand up. And Velma stands up. Velma's a young girl. She's like 17 years old. She's got bright red hair with like a kind of a shaved side, long ponytail. And she kind of like brushes. She's been like eating, just enjoying herself. She kind of like cleans herself up. And she runs over and... what was that noise?
It's the cat.
The cat's going crazy
I
out
don't know
there.
what he's doing.
He really wants to be in here. He's tearing the house down.
Yep.
Velma and Cobb, they stand up. The captain puts his drink down, and she walks over and she gives him a huge hug. Like they're very, like they clearly know each other, and she's very happy to see this guy. Cobb walks over, real big, heavy, firm handshake, clasping arms, just deep nod, like a lot of respect here with this embrace. Cobb is probably like a approaching 70-year-old human man, just classic like New England sailor, like big bushy white beard, like been drinking his whole life, just like that, that kind of, like he's just got that kind of look to him. And he they give each other this nod, and the two of them walk back towards the door opens from the guards, and they walk out. The captain does not follow them out. He walks over and sits back down, and just kind of leans forward with his hands, with his head in his hands. What do you guys want to do?
He's sitting at the desk very close to where we're peering in.
He actually went back over to the sofa.
Okay.
And is just kind of leaning forward, seems to be lost in thought.
I mean, I really want to know how far north that map goes. Okay. I'm assuming that, Kins, you can understand me if I were to speak. Okay. Okay. There's a map there. There's a route that they took the ship, and it goes really north, way further north than really should even be on a map. And I can't see the rest of it. We need to get him out of the room so I can climb in this window. I need the two of you to create some sort of on-deck distraction that will bring the captain out of this room.
Oh my god, literally cat and mouse like distraction, or I'm saying he's chasing me. Is that what you want? I'm not saying this, but Lynette is saying this.
It's Tom and Jerry and
You feel like I don't know,
a pirate.
knock over a lantern is just something to get enough of a commotion that the captain would be to feel the need to leave the quarters. Maybe you could stay invisible. Maybe you just bite some of the men and then run away, and they don't know. The captain were being bitten by something. I don't know.
You can't.
Oh my gosh.
You can't bite them. Then you'll be invisibled.
Attack roll.
You can talk to
Don't-
him. Like, you can talk Belrissa through
Yeah.
Ziggy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't bite them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Don't bite them. Then you won't be invisible anymore.
But don't you? I mean, I've got to get in there somehow. Would you, Belrissa? What would you? What?
Oh, I mean, we
what do you
can.
think?
We can definitely make a distraction.
Okay.
That's.
Maybe. Okay, you guys are on
Partiality.
you guys are on the docks, right? Maybe if you launched fireworks or something from the docks, that would bring the captain out to come see the spectacle. Maybe he seems like a guy who likes a good, colourful fireworks show. I don't know anything about him, but that's what he seems like.
Can
He dresses
dancing
in
lights
all
go
grey,
that
he's got
big?
A lot of grey. Maybe some colour would intrigue him. I don't know.
Quick fireball out in the ocean.
Just.
What does happen if you shoot a fireball straight up in the air?
Well,
I
let's
aim for
see. We
that
can.
air
We can
molecule.
certainly see what happens.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's probably the safest. Is the distraction from here,
Probably.
and not from there.
It's just my idea. Sorry, kid. I didn't mean to make it seem like I want you to go get eaten by pirates or something.
She won't get eaten. She'll just pop back into her regular form.
Yep, and then I'll be killed.
So we're just hearing like half this conversation, like what fireball? What it off the shore? What are they saying?
while Beller's just preparing to cast, I don't know what kind of preparation there is. I have a set of thieves' tools. I'm going to start to get to work on the window, assuming that it's locked. I don't.
Yeah, like while he's sitting right there.
Well, I guess he probably would hear the
Or
clicker and
find
clattering. Maybe not.
Find the
then.
door. Find a door, maybe.
Wait until
Well,
you
if he's
see
gonna
if
go
he
out
leaves
the
or
only
not.
door, I'd have to.
If he doesn't leave. If he does leave.
Okay, yeah, I won't pick the lock until he leaves. So let's see what happens with the fireworks show.
All right. Are you ready?
I think we're ready. Kinsey, are you ready? I don't know what you're gonna do as a rat, but we're gonna have fun.
That's not as confident squeak.
Oh, okay.
All right. I cast a fireball straight up in the air.
Okay.
Maybe a little towards the ship so they hear it, but not like it's like attacking the ship.
It was kind of tiny. He didn't move. He's still just sitting there looking ominously into his hands.
All right. Belrissa. Belrissa points her finger up in the sky. And you coalesce your thoughts on a singular point just way up there, just at the max of your range, which is 300 and something feet. If I recall.
150 feet.
Oh, 150 feet. Not that far at all. Okay. So
It's far enough.
It's 50 yards.
Okay, 150 feet, kind of slightly offshore. You shoot the fireball straight up, and it explodes. And we're going to go ahead and end there tonight. And we're going to find out what
It
happens
definitely worked. 100%.
with Belrissa's fireworks show in the middle of Portsmouth at night over Rock Harbor. Fireball explosion. That
Nothing
is-
bad could happen.
This is the oh man, you let's
All
just
good
say we're
plans
never
start
off
with
brand. Man,
Oh dear.
that was incredible.
At least we're not sword fighting on top of the water. Also,
So many
Like-
good rolls.
Okay, can I just say that I am so happy, not just because I got a bunch of 20s, but because like the whole thing that brought me back to this thing was like me going messing with pirates and stuff, and the fact that I freaking nailed it, actually going out messing with the pirates is like so validating. Yes, I can do it. I did all those things I told you I did.
Yes.
Yeah, yes,
Validation.
we're in the bar and you're like, yeah, I know all of these people, and I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Let me tell you a joke.
oh man.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jay. That was awesome.
that was super fun. Nice job, guys. Are you guys gonna be playing anything this weekend that you want to call out?
Probably another divinity round.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Infinity.
very nice, very nice.
Sunday night.
Teej, you got anything going on?
February 6th will be the second part of a one-shot campaign, which I guess is going to turn into a two-shot campaign.
They always do.
Always do, yeah.
That took place a couple of weeks ago on another channel, so it'll be it's a fun little. It's just characters that don't have a lot of backstory, and you don't have to have seen previous episodes. You just come in and enjoy some of the chaos. So
Cool. Yeah,
February
we can
6th,
throw the
Sunday
link
night.
to that in Discord and probably in chat too. Yeah, for just to catch that. What's the name of the channel? Is D20 Deathmatch?
D20
right?
Deathmatch.
Yeah, awesome.
D20
Awesome.
Deathmatch.
That's great.
It reminds me of Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah.
That's a bit of what it
Right
is.
up my alley.
Oh my gosh.
Cool. We good? Anything else? All right.
Not here.
Well, till next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you. Love you. Till next time. Good luck with your bad plans.